Base requires.
What's the plan?
The money will be shipped out from a freight loading dock inside an ordinary container like any other shipment so as not to be conspicuous.
What about security?
The cargo carrier for which it's intended will be well armored and guarded by Imperial stormtroopers, Captain Solo.
Yes, except that the container that's loaded aboard it won't be one with the money inside.
Nice. How are you going to pull that one off?
Her Highness is going to make the company's central computer switch its loading instructions with the aid of R2-D2.
I have a master code for the computer. It was an Organa family secret. R2 can use it to manipulate the system.
Yeah, I get it. So we land. Chewbacca can stay aboard the Falcon and keep her ready for liftoff.
Yes, and Han accompanies R2 and me to the computer terminal to switch loading instructions.
And the money ends up on an ordinary cargo carrier. So I guess driving it away is my job, right?
Our job, Master Luke. I shall be with you, in case you should need to interface with the computer for any reason.
Hold on, Luke. You won't be able to carry a blaster out there on that freight dock.
That's all right. I'll have my lightsaber. No one's likely to recognize it. But will they let me just drive off in that cargo carrier?
Don't worry. We'll have identification and a work order card for you. Now, the carrier will be secured to the freight dock by a heavy shackle attached to its landing gear as a standard precaution. But R2 will arrange for it to release as soon as the money's loaded aboard.
Okay. Don't forget R2.
Let's see. So Luke brings the cargo carrier back to the Falcon.
And later, the Imperial security convoy takes away a container filled with vegetables or old shoes or whatever.
All right. But what'd you have to come along for, your worshipfulness? You could just give R2 the master code.
I already have, but I'm going to have to authenticate it with my palm print.
But that means you're going to have to use one of the main computer centers.
We've arranged for that. We have a rebel agent in place already. His name is Fodris. He's a Narithian.
A Narithian? One of those bugs?
What's eating you, Han?
I don't trust him. Not a Narithian.
Really, Captain Solo, just because a member of the rebellion happens not to be a human being is no justification for you to be so intolerant.
Listen, Goldenrod, Narithians get hatched. 2 or 3 of them to an egg.
But Fodris is one of the most loyal agents the Alliance has. He's risked his life for us, not once but many times.
I still don't like it. You can't count on a bug.
But you trust a Wookiee to fly the Falcon, don't you?
Hey, hold on. Chewie's a whole different case.
Sure, Han. Whatever you say.
Just what is your specific objection, Captain?
Well, Narithians are too close to their eggmates, for one thing. I heard they even mind-link when they're close together. How'd you know this Fodris can keep a secret?
Because one of Fodris's eggmates found out about his ties to the rebellion, Han. He tried to kill Fodris. Fodris was forced to kill him instead.
Satisfied, Han?
Guess I'll have to be.
Good. Because it sounds like we're going to need the fastest getaway ship we've got, and I'll take the Millennium Falcon every time.
Excuse me, Captain Solo, but speaking of the Falcon, perhaps it is time to mention another matter.
What about the Falcon?
Well, rebel intelligence sources report that the Empire has given top priority to locating your starship, Captain.
Yes, and that order came from the very top.
Oh, I guess that could only mean Darth Vader, huh?
Oh, the very mention of his name makes our gyros flutter. Isn't that so, R2?
Sounds like Vader found out who almost shot his tail off at the Death Star, Han.
And there's something else. We've had word that Jabba the Hutt has upped the bounty price on you, Han.
Oh, figures. Jabba doesn't want to get paid anymore. He just wants revenge.
Well, well, Han. How's it feel to be so popular?
Luke.
Are you quite certain that it will be safe to use the Falcon, Princess Leia?
Don't blow a fuse, 3PO. I've got fake registries and identification codes for the ship. Loads of them.
I guess that settles it. By the way, Leia, just which planet is it that we're bound for?
Ord Mantell. We lift off at 1000 hours for Ord Mantell.
The computer terminal is over this way, sir and ma'am. The outlet should be compatible with your R2 unit.
Thanks, Fodris. R2, plug yourself into the system.
Since I know none of the details of your mission, I couldn't be certain that it would suffice.
What do you think, R2? Will it do?
Looks like you're in business, doll.
Enter the master code, R2.
The door lock did not present as much of a problem as I had feared it might, Captain. My congratulations.
Well, locks are kind of a hobby of mine. R2's got the identity plate ready. Just press your palm to it, your royalness.
Han?
Royalness. You're the Princess Leia Organa?
Yeah, don't let it throw you, Fodris. Try your palm print, Leia.
Oh, all right. Here goes. It worked!
Sure did.
R2, get busy. He's doing it. Get Luke on the comlink and tell him to be ready.
Right. Solo to Skywalker. Solo to Skywalker. Come in, Luke.
Skywalker here. We're in position at the freight loading dock, Han.
R2's making the switch now, Luke. The money will be brought out and loaded as soon as he's done.
I copy, Han.
Make sure you get the right container.
The money shipment. So that's it.
Don't forget to have R2 give the release to unshackle the landing gear.
Got you, Luke. We'll see you back at the ship.
So that's what brings the Millennium Falcon to Ord Mantell.
Uh-huh. Hurry it up, will you, R2? Not much time left before we...
You haven't got any time left at all, Solo.
Han, look out! He's got a blaster!
Keep your hand away from your weapon, Solo. You're more valuable to me alive, but I wouldn't hesitate to shoot you.
Well, I'll be. What, does everybody dream about being a crummy bounty hunter?
Oh, but I am one, Solo. A better one than Greedo or any of the others you've killed.
Fodris, what are you doing? You've been loyal to the rebellion since it first began to...
Not Fodris. I'm his brother, you see? His egg mate.
But Fodris killed his egg mate.
You're wrong. Fodris talked too much, and I realized that something profitable was going on when I heard Solo's name. So I forced Fodris into Mind Link, but he died in the process.
And you took his place.
Hold on. You had the passwords. You knew the recognition signal.
What Fodris knew, I know. Now, Solo, carefully toss your blaster aside. Use 2 fingers only. I wouldn't hesitate to kill you.
I'll just bet you wouldn't. There. Now do you feel safer? What's your name anyway, bounty hunter?
Have you ever heard of Cypher?
So you're Cypher.
That's right. Poor Fodris felt so guilty about having an eggmate who sides with the Empire that he joined the rebellion. He never did care enough for money.
Wait, Cypher, there's even more money in this for you if you help us. The Rebel Alliance will pay you well if you'll let us complete our mission.
The Rebel Alliance is very short on funds, Your Highness, or you wouldn't be here. And the Empire will be very generous with me once you're back in its custody, while Solo here has a rather unpleasant appointment with Jabba the Hutt.
You have it all worked out, huh?
Why, yes, I do. Oh, and while I think of it, Princess Leia, have your droid disengage from the computer.
Better do it, Leia. That bug will only blast R2 if you don't.
You're right. R2, disengage from the terminal. R2-D2, I order you to disengage from the computer at once.
And you can stop hoping for your friend's escape. Even if the money container is loaded, there will be no signal to release the cargo carrier's landing gear. It's not going anywhere.
You're so sure, huh?
Yes, I am. And while I think of it, you might as well hand over your comlink. I wouldn't want you warning your accomplice out there on the freight dock. In fact, perhaps you'd better throw your gun belt away, just to avoid any surprises.
Sure. Anything to oblige. Where do you want it, Cypher?
Don't try to stall me, Solo. Just throw it over here to me.
Here you go.
Han!
Stay back, Leia.
Clever. That was very clever, Solo. No one has ever disarmed Cypher before.